Recently, I decided to quit my 5-year-old type beat channel. In today's video, we're going over all the analytics for the channel, exactly how I grew it over the years, how much money I made, and all the crucial mistakes I made so you guys can avoid them. So before we get into the numbers, everything you want to hear, I gotta give a little bit of an introduction and some transparency for the video. I made this channel 5 years ago when I first started making beats, so the beats were trash. I had no idea how to grow a type beat channel, and this whole channel was really just a learning experience and really just my first step into the music career. I also don't have the exact numbers tracked for how much money I made, but I'm gonna take you through each time period and show you roughly how much money I was making at the time. And at the end of the video, I'll give you a rough estimate of the final number. So we're into the analytics for the last month, and we are not doing good whatsoever. But the sales, we're basically getting no sales at this point. I'm gonna show you guys the lifetime analytics. So in 5 years, these aren't even the craziest numbers because obviously, you know, this whole channel was a learning experience. I had no idea what I was doing, but 1.5 million views, 5,500 subscribers, $1,700, and that's just in ad revenue. A majority of the money is gonna come from beat sales, so let's just start at the beginning. So like I said, I'm gonna take you guys through each time period of my channel and explain exactly what I did wrong and what I did right at each time. So we're starting with the mid 2018 when I first started making beats, all the way up to about late 2019 was this first arc. I was really just learning. I had no idea how to grow a channel. I was just posting whatever I wanted at the time, so stuff wasn't really getting crazy views, but I did develop a pretty good strategy which actually gets decent views. If an artist drops a big project or a song, I would make a type beat based off of that and it would get views. The first beat I ever sold here was this Trippie Redd type beat because he had just dropped that album and I made a beat based off of it. And I sold it for a $50 stem lease. Two things wrong with this, by the way. When I made that sale, I didn't have a fucking PayPal, so I was just completely lost. I had to set it up real quick. And two, I didn't know what stems were, so I was looking it up on YouTube trying to figure it out to get the sale. I don't know who bought from me at the time, but I still somehow managed to get it. Now back to the point I made where I would make type beats based on big songs. I wouldn't recommend doing this nowadays because you're not gonna build an audience if you just keep doing like random songs every time. But if an artist in your niche drops a song, that's a perfect opportunity to capitalize. So obviously this whole arc, I was doing everything wrong. There was no consistent niche. The beats were trash and I didn't even know how to sell beats. So this was really just a whole mess. But early 2019, I uploaded this beat and this is the beat that changed everything really. 379,000 views. And of course, it's kind of a meme beat. So there's a lot of things wrong with that. One, it's meme, so it doesn't even sell that much. Two, you're never gonna build a consistent following off meme. That shit just comes and goes. If this was a regular trap beat, I would have made thousands, but you know, off this beat, I probably made a few $100s. From then on out, I was just kind of doing meme stuff here and there. Those are always the beats that got views, but mixed in with that, I was still doing just a completely random bunch of stuff. So overall, there was no consistent income. I just had that one beat that blew up and got a lot of views and a lot of money. I would have small sales here and there, which usually wasn't even on the meme beats. It was just on regular shit. But that brings us to our next arc. That mid 2020 to late 2021 arc is when I finally found my niche and I started making underground beats. The biggest artist in the underground at the time was Tokyo's Revenge, so that's what I chose for my niche because I really liked his music. And as soon as I did that, my second ever Tokyo beat sold an exclusive. And my first one got like 3,000 views, so right there, I was already getting numbers and I was getting a consistent following from it. With the meme stuff, it was nothing. There was nothing consistent about it. But as soon as I started doing a real genre and a real niche, I actually got a following. So my strategy here, I didn't have too many people buying beats from me, but my kind of mindset is if somebody's gonna buy from you once, they're probably gonna buy from you again if you can, you know, kind of work your way up to that. So my strategy was really to get into conversation with the people buying beats from me. I'm not talking about like be their fucking friend, but you know, try and upsell them, offer them free stuff, and just overall be a nice person and they'll come back and you'll have a consistent clientele. So at this point, I was just making like $200 to $300 a month. It wasn't anything major, but it was my first really consistent income off producing. All right, now the next arc is gonna be that mid 2021 to the end of the channel. I was mainly making one and only type beats, even got them to comment on the beat. And this is really when things started to pick up. I was getting more than consistent views, more than consistent sales, and I even started to get some big placements off of this. Before we get into the rest of the video, if anybody needs help with anything business related to producing, building your own brand, or even making beats, I offer one-on-one coaching calls, which you could book in the description below. Let's get back into the video. So my strategy with these one and only beats was, his genre kind of just started to blow up, so I was really trying to capitalize off that, and things worked very well. I uploaded this beat here, and as you notice, I don't even have it labeled as a type beat. I have it labeled as the official instrumental for 2 different songs. This beat here, I took those elements from that One and Only sound that was blowing up, but I added my own thing to it, and then that beat just absolutely blew up. It didn't even get that many views, but there's 2 huge songs on it. One, which is Lovesick by Shady Moon, my biggest song to date, and 2 is Hedge or Hey, I don't even know how you say it. It's not even in English. So I got Lovesick blowing up, mainly in like, you know, America, English speaking countries. Then I have this second song in Polish blowing up all over Poland off of 1 beat. So now my name's exploding in the community. Everybody's subscribing to me. I go from about 3,000 to 5,000 subscribers. I'm making at a minimum of 500 a month. I even had months that were over 1,000. So things were just going great. But there was one really crucial issue with this genre. It got oversaturated and died out fast. So with that dying out, all these channels died out. I personally started to learn more about growing a type beat channel, and I realized that I'm doing everything wrong. At around, you know, early 2023, I tried to just change my niche again because this stuff kind of started to die off. I couldn't get views, and then I realized my channel is too old and dead. It's not going to work again unless I find another new genre like I've been doing. So that's when I ultimately decided to create the I Quit video and move on to a new channel, a new niche, and it did great. So overall, the main issues with the channel was 1, it's old as fuck. 2, too many lane changes. You really can't just change your niche and expect to get views. The only reason it worked for me is because I was doing like brand new upcoming genres. But of course, as you saw, as if the genre falls off, then I'm absolutely fucked. So with all that being said, the results aren't even that impressive, but if you want to know the exact number I made or roughly how much over the course of these 5 years, it was roughly like 10 to 15 bands. So there's your answer. If you want to know why I quit the channel, I made a full in-depth video on it there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.